Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to another episode of City Skylines Snowfall. And as you can see, I went in and plonked down our ski resort. As you see, a few people using it right now, not huge crowds. We've got a little snowboarding slope just there and a skiing slope there. I haven't seen anybody using this side just yet, just this one here. It might be because the road doesn't fully access all the way across here. So I'm going to try and just extend that out a little bit more to there and see if that maybe brings people into the other side of it as well. What I've also done is I've created a little tram route here, so I've just brought this road coming in off the roundabout here, and then I've put a tram hub just here, and then we've got a little turning loop just here for our line, and I've kind of kinked it in a bit there so that the pavement merges with where the stop is, to try and encourage people to actually, use the stop. No one's using it so far, but that's not really that surprising because we don't have that many people in this part of our city, and we don't really have a great transport network, in our city yet either, to enable people to move from one spot to another. So what I've started doing is putting in some infrastructure for intercity transport, or inner city transport, I should say. I've also zoned in a bit of residential around here to try and provide some pedestrians, for this tram stop just here. Doesn't seem to be working just yet, but we're not going to scrub the route. We're going to leave it because it is, going to come into effect a little bit later. And the other thing I've been working on is just over here. I've put in a route for the tram which is going to run around the back here, and then we're going to have some pedestrian access points at various different places along here so that people can come in and do their shopping and go to different parts of the area as well. There's no space for a what's the word I'm looking for? A tram depot over here. So what I've done is created a little underpass here to go under the freeway and brought it up to here. And that's as far as I've got so far. But what we're going to do is on this side of the road, actually going to bring a road down and off. And I kind of want this to be at the right angle, so let's go straight. There we go. I want to bring a road straight down because what I want to do is curve a piece of road around and down. I don't really want to get too close to the freeway, so I'm kind of looking at that as my on-ramp, like that. There we go. So I can get rid of this now. Go back to straight. I should have a nice, there we go, nice straight road that runs all the way alongside the freeway. Because I figure we can do something in this area here. We can put some houses or buildings up on this side as well. I'm also going to extend this across a little bit here so that I can try and get some stuff zoned in just over here as well. So let's just bring a little road down like that. This way we can just expand our little district over here a little bit, but it also means it gives me a great spot for me to actually create a pedestrian access point just here, connecting up to our tram, so we can have a tram stop just here, for example, and that will feed this commercial area just here. So let's just zone those bits in as well. And let's take that building out and let it rebuild according to the newly defined areas, like that. Same, that's fine there. But we need to obviously create a tram hub over here. So I've got to find somewhere where there's going to be space for it first of all, because it's quite a big building, and it needs to connect off a road. So I'm thinking it needs to sort of come over here. But to make things a little bit easier, what I'm going to do is probably, actually, now that I've decided to come all the way down. Where did he come from? Oh, I see. Now that I've decided to come all the way down here, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this out and relocate it somewhere over here instead. Perhaps joining it with this junction just here, maybe. Somewhere where there's a bit more space, basically. I could also look at maybe reworking this bit just here. So how about Let's try and put in, maybe coming off here. Can I get enough space? No, I can't. Okay, well we can work with that. We can maybe cut this a bit short, perhaps. Let's try this again. So we get to this point here. We want to have a small little turning loop. Nothing too big, too extravagant. Something like that. There we go. And then we can perhaps put a stop just there, if it'll let us. And then we can have maybe a little bit of a pavement connection. Can I get a squeeze of pavement in there? Might be able to squeeze a pavement in. Nope. Okay, so that's not going to work unless I take that building out and do that. There we go. That works. So with that in mind, now hopefully what I can do is go to a 2-lane bit of tram road, and now there we go. Now I've got the space to bring that down and then underneath into this large space over here. It's a little severe, but it also, this also does is it gives me the opportunity to do something similar over this side of the bridge as well. So I can maybe run a tram line here, for example, along here, along the back, and then connect it up underground, and then have the depot somewhere over here. So now that we've got that kind of idea in place, let's create a road for our depot to live off. So let's bring that up like that. Let's plonk in our depot. About there. I want to have a little bit of space, you see, to be able to take this down and underneath like that. There we go. And that's a little bit severe like that, but I suppose I could do a straight connection. It's a very severe junction if I do that. Let's try bringing it this way first. Let's bring it out to here and then down. There we go, that works. There we go, just takes that severeness out of that. So now I've got a way to link trams into that bit there and actually feed a route along there, which is good. Let's put some power and some water into this building. So let's bring that down to there. Hopefully that'll be enough. Yes, there we go. Now I need to get power lines in there. Straightforward enough. So let's find a spot. Just there. Raise it up a little bit. I don't even need to raise it up, do I? Excellent, that'll do. So that'll get power to our depot. Now let's create the route. And let's see, we want our stop to be just there. That's good, that'll do. Interesting choice of colour. Kind of like it. And let's bring a stop to, let's see. Yeah, that works. And then another stop there. And then I want another stop. There. And then we want it to just run all the way along the back and link back up. Oh, straight away we've got people waiting, look, that's excellent. I want to stop here somewhere as well. So the reason I placed these stops, I mean, it's sort of here. You can see we've got that footpath. I can use that space now. Same again, we've got that space there. I can create a footpath that runs straight up the middle. I need a stop over here, so let's put one there. That's a little bit too close actually, so we can move that along one. Yeah, let's move it to there instead. So it's not quite so close. Footpath. There we go. Just check there is still a stop there. Yes, there is. Can't really see it because the scaffolding. There we go. Now we can see the stop symbol. And people can then also just walk along the pavement from that junction. Excellent. That's good. That's feeding that junction there. Loads of people on that one. This is proving out to be a very good line already. Let's drop in some footpaths up the middle. Maybe see if we can get people coming out the backs of these buildings down that bit of footpath. Do the same over here. I don't know if this is actually going to work or not. If it doesn't, I mean, I can always just take that all the way through. It means a little bit of redevelopment for some of these buildings, but we'll see if anyone actually uses these little footpaths. I don't know if they will or not. And then over here, I need a footpath that's going to bring this sort of over here. We've got a little zebra crossing just there, so that makes sense to feed into that, and then that gives access to, you know, the hospital and, you know, the police and the fire, and these residential buildings get a kind of access as well. The only thing is we're going to get people walking that way, which is a bit frustrating, so maybe we could put a stop in just here as well, perhaps. Yeah, let's do that. That will eliminate people from walking in areas that aren't really suitable for it. So can we squeeze another stop in just here, perhaps? Yes. And let's get another one in just here. Excellent. There we go. So I've got a few more footpaths I need to drop in. I need to put stops on the opposite side, and then we need to have some kind of footbridge. Oh, that's going to be awkward. I said, well, we could possibly do it. So there's that stop there. Let's see. Yeah, let's build a footbridge, a footpath there, like so. Oh, straight away, look, vroom, people running straight to it. That's excellent. Can I do the same sort of over here, perhaps? Yeah, kind of. Alright, there we go. So yeah, let's put the return stops in on the opposite side. I'll have to figure out how I'm going to do my footbridge. I think I'm going to do simple up and over routines. So, there's a stop here. I should have enough space to do a quick up. And down, like that. And then I need to find a spot over here where I can bring them back down again. See, this is where it gets tricky. Maybe if I take that piece out. doesn't want to come down, does it? It's just slope too steep. Space already occupied. Ah, it's because it's right up against this. That's why it's... Alright, let's try that again. So I've got my stop here. Let's bring this up. Bring it back down again. Okay. So now we're here at the top. Now look to bring this back down like that. Maybe if I take that piece out. Link like that. Yeah, there we go. That kind of works. Very steep just here, but you know, we can work around that. Let's take that piece out. Not quite so steep. Now I can actually bring this up like that instead. There we go. It's a little bit better, a little bit tidier. So we've got our tram route running all the way along there. I need to do the same in other places. So we've got to stop there. Those two stops are dealt with. And we've got this stop here and this stop here. These ones are going to be a bit trickier. Actually, it might be a bit simpler if we just go straight up and over. Like that. And then this is where it gets a bit more complicated. Trying to get it to just go underneath. There we go. So that's that stop dealt with. Then there's this one. And then there's that one. Let's bring this one up. Like so. And we're just going to connect up like that. In fact, actually, it might be easier to just do it there. There we go, then they can go up and that way. Maybe. Now I can feed down on this side. Take this path out. Feed down to there. And then from there, I can feed that way. Alright, yeah, there we go. So we have an up and over route. Plus we have access to other stops as well if we need them. Next one is here. And where's the next one after that? Just there. So these ones I am going to create something a little bit different, I think. This is what I can use these space bits for, actually, thinking about it. So what I can do here is start underground and build up. It says it's too steep. Okay, alright, let's start up and go down underground. There we go. Means a little bit of redevelopment. Better than the alternative. There we go. So we have our underground routes over there. And then same again on this side. What we can do is we can feed down and across. And where's the other one? It's there, isn't it? So let's do the same here. feed down. Let's try and find a spot that's a bit more equidistant for our connection in the middle. So about there. Like that. There we go. That works. There's a little bit more space to be able to do it with this, whereas the bridges actually take up less of an issue, you know, because they don't have these great big thick side walls that then stick out at the back as well. So that kind of works really well. And then the next stop is just here. So again, we've got some space where we can just connect up to the back of that one there. So let's see, we want our footpath just here, going down like that. There we go. And then we can just connect actually we want this to be over here, don't we? What do we have on this bit? Yeah, I think we should just bring it from here down. So we're going to just take that out. Bring that up like that. There we go. Alrighty. So we have our little tram network there. On this back piece here that just runs back and forth from our mall all the way across the back of our shopping to our residential blocks over here, and then also can kind of feed the hospital as well. So that's all kind of cool. Our airport really is doing quite nicely. Let's just check its stats here. Oh, it's just reset for the start of a new week, but it is actually pulling people in, which is good. You can see obviously we've got planes coming in and out of there. What is the next thing that we need to do? We've still got this space that we can build bits and bobs in. We'll do something else with this. But we need to do the metro. That's what we need to do. So let's start looking at putting in a metro through our city. And we want to have a metro that's going to kind of feed different areas. So I think it makes sense to have a metro stop nice and close to our tram line just there. And we kind of want this metro itself to just feed along this main road here. All the way along here. We need to kind of have a metro hub, and I'm thinking this could be a good place for a metro hub somewhere over here. Possibly somewhere over here. Let's put a little side street in just here. Like that. And let's put in a couple of different metro hubs. One on either side of the road. So that we can actually have two networks running kind of side by side. Won't let me go where I want it to go. There we go, that's where I want it. So, now that we have our initial line kind of in, let's create a route for it. Actually, can we get another stop in somewhere over here? I don't see why we can't. We're going to need to do some clever road placement again, so let's try and trace the line. So the stop needs to be kind of there. There we go. So let's link our lines together. That's a little bit too much. Trying to get it nice and smooth. There's a little bit of a kink which I was trying to avoid, but that'll do. That's close enough, I suppose. Now this line is just going to run sort of along the waterfront. Like this. There we go. So we have a metro line that runs that way, and that will service all of this residential all the way along there into sort of like this area here. We'll have another one that will then come down into this way, and we'll actually have two separate lines feeding into this one. So we'll have a line that feeds in down to this bit and a line that feeds down into this bit, and then I might even run a line going out from this way over to this metro stop just here, and connect all of our lines in some kind of way. But first off, let's get a route in on this one. So can't see what colour that is. Ooh, that's a bit dark. Yeah, this is a residential line, so let's go with a green colour for our residential line. Let's go with a sort of a sombre looking green rather than a bright in-your-face green. So I'm just going to have to cycle through the colours for a second until I find something I like. It's a little bit too bright. Yeah, that's not bad. I kind of like that. Yeah, that's a nice subtle green. So run all the way along there and then link it all the way back again. And we should hopefully start to see a lot of businesses and people ping and start getting lots of happiness, and a lot of people using it. And already we're seeing a whole wave of people just flooding straight to the metro. Look at that. All of them just pouring their way over there. It's like a never-ending just wave. Look where they're coming from as well. Maybe we need something up this end. Let's take a look at the line in action. Yep, we're getting a lot of people coming down and using this line in both directions. We're getting people using it. Here's another wave of people making their way on. This is the terminus. A lot of people using that, and hopefully, yeah, straight away, look, we're seeing people going from the metro to the tram and from the tram to the metro. That's exactly what I wanted to see. You know, people using the metro line to then get to the tram, to get to those other houses that they wanted along the back of the freeway. So I'm really pleased to see that. Let's check our main hub over here. Yeah, quite a lot of people there, look. That's good. So now we need to put another line in. So let's see, where can we get this second line to go? I kind of want this line to come down to maybe here, near the mall. So I'm thinking... Let's see. I'm looking at where I can drop it in with, you know, causing as little sort of damage to our layout as possible. Getting another one on that corner there. There. Put one there, and then that can feed in that way. So let's go ahead and create this route now. So we want to bring that across, and then just curve around like that. There we go. This one wants to curve around and in. Where's this one going? Over there. Just a slight sidestep on this one. And there we go, and that's the terminus on that one. And again, I've deliberately ended it here, so it's nice and close to this end of the tram route. So it kind of services that area, this one services this area, and then the tram covers everything in between. That's kind of the plan. So let's see if that actually works. Let's put the route in over here. So this is another residential line, so probably another green kind of colour is going to be the thing to go for. Yeah, that one will do. It's a different shade. So let's bring this line around. We don't have any power to that stop at the moment, so that might not actually get anyone using it until we get power into it. Let's just put in a temporary power line just to connect that up. There we go. So again, let's check that out, see if people are using it. I've got one or two people on this stop, but there's not really anything here, so it's not that surprising. Let's check the next stop along. And yeah, we are seeing people on this one on both sides of the platform. And we're seeing, you know, more and more people starting to learn about the existence of our metro, which is good. Moving along to this stop. Getting a few people in here. I'm probably going to put in a footpath that'll connect over to this corner here rather than using the roundabout. And then over here, yes, we're getting some, and you can see we've got that kind of commuter link where people are walking from one stop to the other. I'm going to make that a little bit better by shortening that road as well. So I'm going to have to take the road out, which breaks the stop. But then I'm going to put the road back in and just draw it to there, like that. And now we have a much shorter pavement connection for people to literally just go from one stop to the other. There we go. Right, so it's just this part left to service now, and that's going to come down off the back of this. So this is going to curve around and come down through here. Although we could, theoretically, yeah, you know what? That makes more sense. Let's be a little bit more clever. Let's build a second line connection. Let's, instead of having this curving up like this, still on freeform, aren't we? Yes. Let's bring this along and connect in like that. There we go. And now let's move that stop to there. There we go. Fantastic. And now what I can do is I can reposition where this one is and actually have it straight so that it comes down this way. And then I can have two lines coming off that way, so I can cover this part here and this part here with two separate metro lines. Yeah, that'll work better. So need to remove that. Just going to remove that stop completely, like that. What I'm also going to do actually, if I take that piece out and that piece out and that piece, is I'm actually going to relocate where this is positioned as well to there, right on the edge, just to give me a little bit more space to move around with. So now I need to just reconnect the tunnel. Like that, and then the lines, I don't know if I can actually hook onto those anymore. No, I can't. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete the lines entirely, because I can't get to where the stops are to remove them. They're just going to stay there. So the only way I can get rid of them nice and quickly and easily is to delete the whole line. It's messy, but it's the quickest and easiest way to do that. So I'm just going to have to quickly put these lines back in. So while I'm doing that, I'm just going to pause for a second, get the lines back up and running, and then I'll come back to you in just a second. And there we go. Both lines are now back in. Colours are slightly different, but you know, you get the idea. And just as with train lines, if you want to make sure that you have two lines coming into one station and they come in on separate lines, then in this instance you need to start the first line at this station and then run along this line here, putting in all the stops in, get to that point, which is the halfway point, and then come back, put the other stops in and complete it, and that will put it on the first platform. And then to make sure that the other one is on the opposite platform, instead of starting there, you start at this end. So you start here, you run along this line here, and it gets to there, and then you loop back and go in the other way. And that way, you know, it's coming in on this line, and that one's going out on that line. If you've got right-hand traffic, then it might, you know, you might need to do it the other way around. So start here for the bottom line, and then start at the halfway point for the top line. It depends whether you're not using right-hand traffic or not, or left-hand traffic. But yeah, that's essentially how you get two lines running into a single station and having their own dedicated platforms, is make sure that one starts at that station and the other one starts at the other end of the other line, so that they both come in on separate lines and stay on their own separate lines. So now that we've got that out of the way, we need to put in our stop for our other one, and I'm going to do that here, like this. So our footpath, if we take that piece of road out, our footpath can literally run like that and connect the stops together. In fact, where's the stairs? Stairs are coming up against the road, so that's fine, yeah. Obviously no one's using this one at the moment because it's not connected to anything at all, but let's put in some stops for this one. So I want to have a stop down here, and then I need to trace this up, and this is where it's going to get a bit trickier. So stop here, and a stop on this corner. That's not on the corner, is it? We can move that. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then terminus, and then down here, let's put them on this side because I don't have space on the other side. So one there. Put one there. Again, that needs to be repositioned. And then the next one will plonk there on the end like that. So let's just reposition those stops that we need to. So this one's not right in the corner. There we go. And there was one over here where we had the same issue. It's not that one, it's this one. Let's reposition that right into the corner. Like so. There we go. And that one's fine. Okay. Now let's put in the tunnels for those lines as well. So this is where I've got to be really careful. Make sure that the lines stay separated. There we go. Starting to get some quite busy traffic on here. I wonder why. I wonder why we had that little queue. Oh, it's treating these as an actual junction, look. Ah, that's two-way road, that's why. Ah, these are two-way roads. Yeah, that needs to change. Alright, we'll fix that. Let's get these metros up and running first of all. So, let's connect up our stops. There we go. Same over here. And then we want this to feed in. We can feed it in at a better angle than that. I guess not. Alright. There we go. Alright, so we have our two lines. So again, we're going to have these on dedicated platforms. So let's go with blue lines this time. It's a bit too blue. It's giving me all the greens now. There we go. That's a good colour, blue. We're going to run this one down from that stop to there. And then we're going to run it down to here. And to here. And then place our stops on the return loop. See, I get the feeling we've potentially got space to put in another stop somewhere over here in the future. We'll see how that goes. And then that, by putting it, this one starting here and then going on this branch, it's kept that line on that line there. So we want this one now to start here and run this branch, but we can't start it on this platform because otherwise it will start going out, which means it will start on that line of the station. So we want to start at this end. Let's find a different blue. It's a bit dirtier, that blue. Oh, it's actually quite similar. No, it's close. It's different enough. And then again, we'll run that up to there. And you can see now that this is coming in to this station. So it's coming in on this line and only ever being on this line. And then when we bring it out, you can see that it doesn't actually come off that line until it gets to this junction here. So now we have that complete separation of those two lines with their own separate dedicated platforms. And there we go. That's a second metro line up and running for that station. Just need to add some power for the end stop here. And we're not going to get much use. Just a temporary power line will do. We're not going to get much use on this bottom stop here, or this stop here. Well, some on this one. We've got the cathedral. So we'll get a little bit of use on this one here. But not so much on this one at all, because there's nothing over here at the moment. But it's there for the future, because we are definitely going to be expanding into this. Right, so we need to fix this road network, because these roads are wrong. I can't believe I didn't notice that earlier. Let's go to upgrade. Let's make this pause. Make that one way. Make that one way. That already is one way. Okay. And these should be one way as well. Okay. This might break this if I do it the way I want to do it. So I might have to leave that as a 2-lane road. But if I make that... Yeah, that's what I was worried about. It's broken, that stop. Bugger. Alright, so we'll have to leave that like that. But for the rest of them, we can turn them into proper slip roads. So make this a slip road, make this a slip road. And making them slip roads actually speeds the traffic up. Because again, they're running at a faster... It's like freeway. They run faster on slip roads than actual standard roads. This one we're going to have to leave as standard road because of that metro stop there. Unless I were to reposition it. But I don't know if I've got the space to reposition it. You know what? I can. But I'm going to have the same issue. I'm going to have to delete and reposition the stop. So I'll do that off camera. And I'll rework this so I can actually turn that into a slip road. But at least we've got the right road types now. So let's make sure that the roads are in the right direction. See, that should be facing that way. Like that. There we go. That, I think, is the right direction. That's the wrong direction. Alright, that's not actually 2-lane road, is it? No, there we go. What about this piece? There we go. So now I can change these road directions. That one that way. Yeah, that is correct. That needs to change. Like so, there we go. Alright, I think that is everything it needs to be. That actually I can turn into a slip road right now. Oops. Upgrade. There we go. That's better. Alright, so there we go. Let's get that flowing again. Traffic should now all move in one direction and move a lot smoother and a lot better. Excellent. There we go. Beautiful. So that's sorting out the issues that we had just there. So there we go. We have our metro system. We can now see people using the footpath and the stops. I need to do a little bit of rejigging to reposition this, and I'll do that off camera, but essentially we have fixed that issue. So that's the end of another episode of our City Skylines Snowfall playlist. We've achieved some good transport links with our metro system, 4 metro lines, and we've got our tram route over here up and running as well. So a good starting point, and we've got a little bit more infrastructure to put in place, and we'll do that next time out. So thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll see you again very soon.